I'm going to give you some strategies and tips so you can be a lot more efficient and get a lot more work done. This is Efficiency and Organization, where we talk about everything having to do with being organized, well planned, having strong time management, having good plans. So in previous videos, I've mentioned that I am a public school administrator. So what can we do to manage the 90 million things that come our way? So here are some of the suggestions. The first one, if people ask you to do things on the fly, like let's say you're in the middle of something, somebody walks in, you're walking, somebody asks you to do something, tell them politely to email you if you are good at email management. Being good at email management means not having 50 million emails in your inbox, having a clean inbox. For some reason, inboxes of people have a lot of emails. People have this thing about not deleting emails, and it's just not right. Save the most important ones. Even if you have a tiny inkling that you might need it, save those emails in folders. Otherwise, delete, delete, delete. I save the important ones in saved folders, and then the rest I just delete. So what's effective about people emailing you is it's there in writing and you satisfy the tasks, then you can delete. So that way everything is in writing, and then as soon as you do it, it's done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. The second strategy that also works really, really well is having a notebook. So when I was a bookkeeper, it used to be that people would call me a lot to ask for things. And so I would write them down. For instance, send so-and-so their encumbrance report. Send this person their tax form. So I would write the request on this notebook, just a plain notebook. Then every time I would accomplish the task, I would write them here. And then every time I would accomplish it, I would cross it off, cross it off, cross it off. So the things that were still there were things that I knew I still needed to do. So if you get a lot of phone calls, maybe instead of the email option, a notebook would be the next best way to organize. Next strategy is you have to be extremely careful of how you spend every minute of your day. There are so many times during the day when I have coworkers and people coming just to chit chat. It's okay to do that for like a minute or two, but if you let the conversations go on and on, just remember what that's doing to your time. There might be people who are waiting for you to respond to them. There might be people who are waiting for you to do things for them. You might have deadlines that you have to meet, and you just allowed somebody to suck up all this time from you, and then now you're behind. Somebody takes 15, 20, 30 minutes away from me, I have to stay late. So instead of leaving my place of work at 4:30, it means leaving at 5, 5:30, 6, 6:30 every day because I'm behind and I need to make sure that my priorities for the day are done. Next, let's talk about Post-it notes. Now, I know some people use Post-it notes. So instead of a notebook, they tend to use Post-its, and then they write like the tasks that they need to do, and then they put them on their desks. Every so often, I do that too. But here's the difference. At the end of the day, as each task is done, I take it and trash, trash, trash. So you can use Post-its for quick notes that you need to make, but just remember, as soon as the task is done, so you have to be very task-oriented all day. As soon as it's done, you throw it out. Next, put things on your Outlook calendar or your paper calendar or planner, or even your Google Calendar. For like my business here, my efficiency and organization business, one of the things I do is every week I have to release at least one new video, and every week I have to release at least one new blog post for the website. So what I do is put a reminder there that by this day, by Friday of each week, I have to have a video done and I have to have a blog done. And it's a very good strategy because it's there and I know it needs to be done. I know that this is a strategy that a lot of people are like, no, planners don't work for me. Calendars like this, the paper, just don't work for me. And that's fine. Then use Google or use your Outlook calendar. The thing that I like is the reminders app. I don't know if Android phones have this, but I know for a fact that the iPhones have this. It's an app that already comes downloaded and it's so nice, it's free. You can go and put little tasks that need to be done, and every time you like basically push the little button, it erases itself. So next strategy is a whiteboard. So I've seen this used very effectively. I personally don't use this, but I have seen people use it very effectively. They basically have a big whiteboard at their place of work, and everything that they need to do, they write down, and it's right there in front of them. Then as they accomplish each task, they cross it off. People have asked if they can use more than one of these strategies at the same time. I would say then it confuses you. Use 2 at a time. But if you could stick to like 1 or 2 of these ways each time, I think you'll be far less overwhelmed, because then things everywhere, and then you're going to get confused as to what's a priority, what's not, and your chances of making sure you're satisfying the jobs and the tasks that need to be done might suffer. And another strategy is to practice focusing. Focus on the work. Okay, just be very task oriented. If you go in and you're distracted, your mind is distracted, you're gonna have all these things come your way and you're gonna daydream more than you're focused on getting the tasks done. Just remember that you're there, you're at work to get as much done and to be as caught up. That's the key, be as caught up as possible. So that way at the end of the day, you're not stressed, you're not going home with that burden that there are things sitting there that didn't get done. If you noticed, with a lot of these strategies, I keep saying the words delete, cross off. You have to get rid of things that are done and done for good, because you don't need to save them, okay? You need to look forward to a nice, fresh, clean start each day. That is all I have for this video, and I will catch you in the next one.